Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Babecast, episode number 5. Coming a long way now, aren't we, sweetheart?
Woohoo.
3 weeks into this, and we got 5 episodes. Very cool. So I got some special news for everybody who is actually today thing. And those are the unfortunate schleps, just like us, who aren't at Porcfest yet. We'll get into that in a little bit here, but. So this is our last live show for the week. We're not doing a live one on Wednesday just because we will be out of town up at Porcfest. It's going to be a lot of fun. Originally, all we were going to do was talk about Porcfest and how we wish we were there already. But I will be a special guest tonight, a good buddy of ours. Been there as long as we've known each other. Met him the same time we met each other at Porcfest. He has a very, very special place in our heart, doesn't he?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he's almost like our child, who is almost a decade older than us.
Yep.
Yep.
Much.
So, without further ado, in case you guys haven't figured out who I'm talking about yet, I'd like to welcome Eddie Free to the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Hi, guys.
So Eddie is actually joining us from his cell phone. Apparently, his internet is current residing location, which I will not give away, but I will allow Eddie you to share that information with everybody, because we're at a loss now. Annie and I were on a trip down the Outer Banks, and one day we're just hanging out on the beach, having a good old time, and we get this news from Eddie via Google Plus, and he says, "Guys, I'm really going to miss you, but I've got to go. I've got to get out of this hellhole known as DC." And so Eddie, why don't you? Who are you? How about that?
Wait, who am I?
Yeah.
I'm just a regular guy who started waking up to the ideas of liberty and decided to start screaming it from the mountaintops. I had an opportunity to move to Washington, D.C., and I thought, well, wow, that'd be a great stage for activism. But it's really more like hitting your head against a brick wall repeatedly. But so I went up there. I was there for about 5 years, and D.C. is a very transient city anyways. Most people don't last over 4 to 5 years there. And the walls started closing in on me in that town. I mean, as soon as I walked out of my house, there was multiple cameras already on me. As soon as I stepped to the sidewalk, I had cameras on me. I had a little run-in with an undercover cop a few days before I left, and that kind of just solidified my decision to get the hell out of that town.
Well, in you were saying originally you had gotten an opportunity to go to DC, and I'm assuming it was a time where you thought maybe battling the political structure was the way to go about your activism. Is that a fair statement?
Really, it is. I'd heard about the Free State Project in New Hampshire prior to moving from a friend of mine, and but I don't know. I mean, I moved to the East Coast, and I just started meeting, all the awesome Philadelphia activists and folks in New York, and of course New Hampshire. It was a little bit closer, so I was able to make a few treks up there. Like you said, we met at the Porcupine Festival, which I'm going to miss this year, unfortunately. But I tried to start up in DC. We had a couple dance parties, and we sold lemonade and raw milk and that kind of stuff. Which you guys were at. But,
you're such a and having dance parties.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, I like to show those type of benign activities, and how the fact that the police state will come down on you just for selling lemonade and dancing and that kind of stuff. So, that was just kind of the activism I was kind of focusing on. Now I'm just kind of gearing it towards really just more towards some of the other goals that I have in life right now, and I'm not
Like killing
necessarily.
as many animals as you can.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm as public as I was, as outspoken as against the police state and that kind of stuff. I'm really gearing myself more towards hunting rights and gun rights.
Okay, and that makes total sense, and I guess that's kind of part of the reason you wound up in Texas, or.
It is. Well, I have a great opportunity down here. I'm starting a ranch. I've got some land in central Texas in the hill country. I got about 40 acres out there, and
Nice.
it's lots of deer and all of that. So I'm starting a little agorist business there, and we're going to see where it goes. Hopefully it'll take off. Like anything, it's a slow process because I've got power and water out there and electricity, but
Oh, that's good.
the living accommodations aren't so nice. So I've got to work on that, and yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, and so you say an agorist business. What exactly are you offering up out of this business?
Well, I'm just trying to do this outside the confines of state regulation, which I can do for the most part. So I'm
Okay,
just
not
going to try
everybody
to.
knows what a ranch is. So what is involved when you come out to a ranch?
Ranch. This isn't your typical ranch that have cattle. This is a place where folks can pay to come for a guided hunt. They can come and hunt
Okay.
deer, and that's what I'm selling. I'm selling trophy hunts. It's a type of deer that I'm selling. It's called an axis deer. It was introduced to Texas in the 1930s, so they're not indigenous to Texas. So there's really no regulation on this animal. With white-tailed deer, you have to hunt them at certain seasons, and you have a certain
Okay.
limit of how many white-tailed deer you can shoot. But these axis deer, it's an exotic deer, and it can be very profitable selling these animals.
Okay, see that's okay. Right. So I need some elaboration right there. What do you mean? So you got like a fenced off area that people can buy, here to go like try and track down.
It's not fenced off at this point, but I'm waiting to acquire more land before I would go about fencing it and bringing in any other type of species. Because I plan to eventually bring in certain African species that folks can hunt. So they don't have to go all the way to Africa. They can come out to our ranch, and a lot of African species that are endangered over there have thrived here in Texas at some of the game ranches. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to preserve some of these species, and I believe that the key to species preservation is to allow the private ownership of them. There's no shortage of chickens. There's no shortage of pigs and cows, and I feel like if people could own pandas, there would be pandas, everywhere. So,
Well, I wouldn't want to hunt a panda. I want to hang with a panda and cuddle.
Yeah, I want to make a rug out of one, actually.
Oh, speaking of which, I've got your. I don't know if you're looking at your video right now. I've got your hide right here.
You sure do. Good. I'm glad you guys still like that. I liked the little outfit that Annie made out of it, though. It was pretty primordial.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
I was trying to dress like a wildling.
Yeah, and then Darren photoshopped a whole tribe behind her. It was perfect.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And see, he is the type of guy that would, this was an engagement present. He found out that we got engaged, and he's like, "Well, here, I'll give you some animal flesh with
Give
fur."
me a carcass skin.
No, I love it. It's dressed up my chair right now. I'm already thinking, like, I need to get this thing, like, actually, like, solidly wrapped around it and everything. Or maybe I'll give
you guys, that you guys are invited out. So anytime you make it out to Texas, we can go out to the ranch, and if one of y'all want to get on a deer, you can shoot one or whatever, and we can float
Take
the
one home
Guadalupe
as a
River.
pet.
No, we're not trapping any animals out here. Eddie, yeah, and you've told me before, that we're more than welcome to come out there, and that is definitely an exciting process. What's the time of the year to be out there? I mean, I guess do
Well,
the
this is
regular hunting seasons relate to you, or?
Well, I would say that in April, you know, the animal, if people are coming out for a hunt, they would want to come probably in April. The antlers are real trophy. And like I said, it's not indigenous. So it's not regulated. You can hunt these animals year round. But really, I would say in the fall would be a great time. Anywhere from fall to April would be a good time. But, you know, of course, during the summertime, we can just go and whatever. We can float the river and hang out, whatever.
See, that sounds nice. Yes.
You know, redneck shit.
Do some fishing.
What's the weather there in the winter? How cold?
What's that?
What's the weather get like there in the winter?
It gets pretty cold, actually. Nothing like the East Coast, of course, but I don't know. Texas is more of like a summer and rainy season, in my opinion. So it's just, it drops down. I mean, it gets cold. It gets down to 30 for, you know, a few days in the wintertime. But for the most part, you know, wintertime you're dealing with, you know, 50 degree weather for the most part.
We'll have to go in the summer.
We'll let him work on those living conditions he was talking about in the beginning.
I've got to get accommodations up before before I get you guys there. I have a trailer out there now, but it's basically falling apart, so I've got a lot of repairs to do. And, you know, eventually you want to do the whole cabin and all that kind of stuff.
You don't have some horses out there and all that good stuff? Or is it all on foot?
No, just wild animals.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, that sounds exciting, man. You can, I mean, there's an endless world of stuff you can do out there. You can put stands and shades and stuff like that, or...
Yeah, we've got blinds already set up, but I've got to go clear land. I've got to cut firing lines, and it's. I mean, this is a place that I've hunted since the '90s, and now I'm able to acquire it and use it, and really put the land to use.
And just so everybody knows, any of our viewers that are watching this at the moment, I am currently petting our kitty. I know this might look a little strange to some of you. But I assure you, there's a little kitty laying in my lap. Eddie, did we tell you we got a kitty? You saw the pictures, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I saw the pictures. I was liking all over them. It's the only cat I like.
It's the only cat you like. Well, did you hear that, Izzy? Eddie loves you. Eddie loves you. Give him a meow. Meow.
Give me a meow.
What's that?
So what's up, you guys? Why didn't y'all spend the whole week up at Porcfest? What's going on?
Well, it's that whole taking time off from work and getting funds together, and you know, honestly, it's one of those things. A couple of weeks ago, if you would have asked me, I've been like, oh yeah, we're getting there Wednesday, no big deal. But now that it's Monday night, I really do wish we were already up there. You know, drinking some cerveza and
my Facebook is flooded with photos, you know, so I'm just like kicking myself in the teeth. Why didn't I just go, you know? So
yep.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to make it next year.
Well, see, that's the thing, yeah, and we just took time off, not for our little Outer Bank, which was a lot of fun. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
We've just taken a week. And it seems like every year less of our friends are going. You're not going to be there this year. A whole bunch of our friends have kind of dwindled down. So we're always
the
like,
losers.
I don't care if we don't go. And then the week comes and I'm like, oh my God, all these pictures.
Yeah. Like, that's right, we can go make new friends.
Stone. I just saw Michael W. Dean and Ben Stone together. I'm like, what? This is an epic, you know, this is an epic union.
Broke my heart, too.
We met each other before in person. So, yeah, we're missing out.
Well, until Wednesday though. We're actually like in the middle of packing. That's what you can tell. I'm a little sweaty right now. I've been rolling. Just that we actually just rolled up an air mattress that you left for us, Eddie. Didn't quite make it back into the bag. It's okay. It's okay. We got it. And so we just pulled out the tent, you know, that we we've meant for like the past 3 months to go set up and air out somewhere. So luckily we're getting there quite a ways before it gets dark and we need to get into the tent, so it can just air out at Porcfest or whatever. I think we haven't had that tent out since last Porcfest, huh? Yeah. Not
Did
very
you
much
guys
camping going on.
Did you guys get your own camp spot, or are you sharing with folks or something?
We are, so Ruby and Nick actually have a park model, like a trailer, and
nice.
we are going to pitch a tent outside of their trailer so we can still use the kitchen and the bathroom and all that stuff, but we've our own space. So.
You guys had a trailer the year before last, didn't y'all?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice, especially when it's raining and you want to go indoors where you can actually stand up and not be surrounded by everybody else that's trying to escape the rain.
Mm-hmm.
And it always rains, at least for a couple of days up there.
And actually, Annie neglected to mention, Davi Barker's going to be staying on that spot too, so I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be good to.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, cool.
It'll be good to yak with him. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Seem like more tents this year, so I'm hoping that even when it does
Mm-hmm.
rain, people aren't going to be all packed under the pavilion.
Well, see, and that's the thing too. I've been looking at this schedule, and I saw some of the pictures after they got all the tents set up. I guess they got the last one set up sometime this morning, but there is like 3 different tents set up, and well, let's see. It's Monday. What? It's quarter after.
What are we missing?
Quarter after 7 a.m. So, kids movie night. Horton Hears a Who, and Free Talk Live is going on right now. And at 7:15 it says Iron Sky. I wonder if are they showing the movie Iron Sky right now? Oh my God, that's so awesome.
I don't know. That's awesome. If y'all haven't seen it, you've got to see it.
I've watched it like 3 times. Yeah. It's pretty
I'm in love with the chick.
Yeah. I'll watch that movie as soon as it was over. I have to Google this chick because she's hot. And so yeah, okay. We're not missing too much right now, but you're right. That is an actually epic movie. I guess they're showing it. Maybe somebody who worked on that movie is at Porcfest right now, because that was like a wide open source movie. I think that was one of the biggest draws that it had to me, was just the fact. Did you hear about that, Eddie, at all?
No. What are you talking about?
Like, different parts of that movie were shot in different parts of the world. By different teams of people, like a lot of the stuff shots that were done on the moon, one studio somewhere, by a whole separate team, like a whole production crew and everything. And then, obviously a few of the actors had to go around to all these different spots, but like the special effects team was located in a completely different location. And all these different collaborators and everything, that the music came from different people. It was just, like, if you next time you see that movie, watch the credits at the end, and I think the credits are almost as long as the movie itself, just because of how many people were involved in that. Like, a lot of people were just contributors to the movie. They just like donated a ton of money. So it was kind of like a Kickstarter movie. I don't want to say exactly like a Kickstarter movie, but along those same lines. So yeah, I mean,
it flowed well. The cinematography all looked like it was from the same kind of style. You said that it was different filming crews, and yeah, I thought it was a great movie. I've seen it a couple of times myself.
They kind of left physics out of the whole thing, like. So they were just like, there's gravity on the moon, whatever. It's very, very similar to Earth's gravity, apparently, but.
Well, don't you know the moon is actually a spaceship?
Well, it's a spaceship that's made out of cheese, correct? Like, it extrudes cheese out onto the outside to appear as something else. Yeah. Annie, would you like to put your conspiracy theory on the moon or on the subject?
There is no moon.
There is.
It's a hologram.
She's a no mooner. So 9:15 tonight, Lex, I worship his shadow. I'm not entirely sure what this is. Let's see. A group of desperate fugitives from an interplanetary tyranny find impressively powerful starship. I guess. Oh, it's another movie. Okay.
Isn't Lex like some weird, quirky kind of sci-fi?
It sounds like it.
Not on anymore though, right?
I guess not. I mean, it says movie, so maybe they had like a movie to cover the whole thing. I have heard of that before.
Yeah, I tried to watch that show. It was just a little too bizarre for me.
Well, I'll tell you what. So it sounds like there's a lot of people that are going to be running around drinking and doing doing their own thing tonight. I did not sit Porcfest at 9:15 at night and watch a movie.
I've never been able to watch any movie playing at Porcfest ever.
Yeah, I have a hard time sitting down for presentations. Like, I have to be very, very, very interested in the overall subject before I'll be able to just sit there and watch.
I'm always just running around, and my feet are so sore by the end of the week because I'm just, running around everywhere the whole time. I did bring a bike, though. One year I took a bike to Porcfest, and that was awesome. That was great
until you got to go uphill.
Yeah, I know. It'd be cool to have a Segway. That would work.
Yeah.
There was Segways there, 2010, 2011, something like that. Somebody brought a whole bunch of Segways and was running people around on them.
I'd take a
It'd be great to rent them out there.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And I was like off, and I think you could run around with it for an hour or something. But I'd probably wind up breaking it. And then just, since we're on Monday night, I guess technically Tuesday, but our good buddy Michael Dean will be doing his show, Freedom Fiends, After Dark, if you want to go there. But it's just Freedom Fiends. It's now a day-a-week show, and I think he's trying to drop the whole Michael Dean After Dark thing, so forget that I even said that. And no, here we go. Look, see, and it's really funny looking at this schedule, because now we get to Tuesday, and it's just like there's things on top of each other. Like,
oh yeah, there's so much to do. I'm sure
it's getting pretty ridiculous.
Someone had commented. He said, "What the fuck? There's so many kids here this year," which I think is great. I mean, they've got so many activities for the families now. But I think it's great introducing these kids to the ideas of liberty, in such a way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every year we're there and a paper throwing star for an entire $1.
I did. I like when kids sell shit.
Sorry. Eddie already blew the cuss dump here, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, I don't care. This is far from a family show. It'll be all right. And speaking of which, real quick, I would just like to thank once again Michael Shanklin for all the hard work he's been doing on the Voluntary Virtues Network. This is not actually an easy thing to throw together. So I would like to commend him for all this hard work, and we're very, very excited to see where this thing goes. There's like almost 2,000 likes and followers. I think it's followers. I can't remember now on the whole Facebook page. Have you heard anything about this Voluntary Virtues Network yet, Eddie?
Oh yeah, and I love Michael. I think he's one of the hardest working activists in the movement. I mean, he's maintaining a full-time job. He now has a little baby now, and then and Voluntary Virtues has really been taking off now that he's added all these new shows. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about Michael.
Yeah, and I believe I will finally get a chance to meet him in person again. I think the last time I met him in person was at Porcfest, and I might have had a little bit too much to drink. So I'm gonna make sure I remember it this time.
Yeah, he was there. He was there the year before last, and that was the first time I met him also. But I'm surprised
I was
that he's
kind of jumping for
I'm surprised because I talked to a couple of the organizers with Porcfest and told them about Michael. And try to get him a speaking spot, but yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been asked to talk.
Yeah, well, he's probably getting plenty of that out of the network now. I believe he does a show, or is featured on a show damn near every day. But yeah, so Annie, did you have something to to say about this?
No, I'm just sorry that I'm going to miss it. So it's a talk called Strangers in a Strange Land, How Libertarians Can Work in Mental Health Care Today and How Mental Health Care Might Work in a Voluntary Society.
Oh, man.
And it sounds from the description like it's a little bit about like, hey, libertarians and mental health people don't need to be enemies. We can work kind of towards common goals. It's not necessarily anti-liberty. We're not tranquilizing kids so that they will sit in government schools, the description says. And that's interesting to me because that is the profession I work in. And these people say they're usually at odds with a lot of their coworkers on certain things, as am I.
Yeah, I mean, that stinks. This is right up your alley.
Well, a lot of social work, I mean, it's all, you know, that kind of field. I mean, isn't that a lot of that reliant on, you know, tax dollars?
Yeah, tons of it is. I mean, I work for a nonprofit, but probably half of the social work field works for the government, public schools. So. And
in a voluntary society, there would be none of that, but there would still be a need for quote-unquote social work.
Yeah, well, they would probably be more non-based.
Right.
But, I don't know, it's interesting. So.
But then again, at the same time, maybe since kids are actually growing up with certain values and morals from the start, they wouldn't wind up freaking out and trying to poop on the floor somewhere.
I have a feeling there would be a lot less of a need. You see it even now over the summer when things in the mental health world are very slow because kids aren't in school.
Yeah, see, they can get out of the house and play all day instead of being told to sit down and be quiet. Yeah. What were you saying there, Eddie? Say that again.
No, I was just saying, yeah, connect the dots. I mean, kids are miserable because they're stuck in prisons all day, and, you know, if they wiggle around, they drug them, and yeah, I mean, that's why they're miserable. You know what's funny, too? Out here, you know, I'm outside of west of Houston right now, but driving down, there's this one particular freeway, and there's this new high school that's built, and it's huge, it's massive. No windows. It literally looks like a prison. You drive 2 miles, well, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 miles down the road. There's an actual prison, and there is no difference between them. It's crazy.
Well, you should have seen the high school I went to. There was literally no windows except for the north and south end of each, like, hallway. And there was no lockers over there either. So if you were standing over by the windows, it was like you know, easy pickings for one of the teachers to be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Get to class." There's another one I see on here that's pretty cool. Besides the mental health stuff, right after that, it's something, or actually, okay, so this is one of the overlapping things with the event you were just talking about, Annie. It's called Mental Health First Aid Without Law Enforcement Intervention.
Need to go. Why are we not there tomorrow?
Well, it's because the schedule does like way after we made plans.
This one I need too.
Yeah, this class will focus on the following topics: mental illness, recognize mental health emergency, how to respond to various types of mental health emergencies, blah 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 blah. What to do if the situation is violent and when officers need to be called in, and what to say to them. Situation. So that's a pretty interesting one. I'm sorry, what was that, Eddie?
That is an important issue because, you know, people go, you know, their first go-to is to call the cops for any situation, you know, and these cops will come into a home and, you know, maybe the person's not mentally ill, but maybe the person's having a seizure and maybe they, you know, they're not able to respond to the policeman's, you know, orders. And, you know, the guy's sitting there, he's having a seizure, and they're sitting there, you know, adding to the problem by injecting him with, you know, 100,000 volts of electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Important
issue. They haven't shot him yet.
Who are the cops? You know, some of these parents will call, you know, their kids, you know, they're having trouble with their kids, and their kids have mental issues. You know, the cops, they don't have degrees in this kind of field. You know, all they do is, you know, hurt and kidnap people, and that's all they know. So that's an important issue to cover.
And meanwhile, you can also go have a bachata. Is that a type of dance? A kata dance lesson? Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
And shortly after that, that's when they start doing the speakers and events. You can go do yoga with Stephanie Murphy. I love to see that she's doing that again this year. It seems to be a recurring event. The lovely Stephanie Murphy going out there and showing people how to do yoga without hurting themselves. So yeah, okay, a bunch of practical activism, cool, mindful versus the state, how to construct a distillation unit to produce clean, drinkable water.
Oh, I want to go to that too.
Oh, we can distill water, but that would be cool. Do you even collectivism, bro? Solving the pricing. What is this? Do you even collectivism, bro? A brief review of collectivism, examining it as a tool whose application can be negative or positive depending on the intent of the users. The difference between socialism and collectivism as defined by Karl Marx. Okay.
Sounds interesting.
Or you can go learn how to make survivor bracelets.
Probably paracord bracelets.
That's what I would imagine.
Garrett does
That's
the
one
paracord.
I still have like 3 or 4 bracelets from last year that I actually just cleaned out of my Jeep. So, no, I don't do I don't do that anymore.
You know how to.
Crowdsourcing solutions. TheBitmom.com will be hosting Women in Bitcoin. If you want to get sexist about it.
Bitmom.com. I've never heard of that. Catchy.
Yeah, we got who we got here. Jessica,
there's so much of this.
Catherine Bleich, M.K. Lorge, Tatiana Moroz, Stephanie Murphy, and Lynn Ulbrich. Okay. Oh, that's what's his face? Ulbrich's mom. The guy who was on Silk Road. What was his name? We were just talking about him. Bob Ehrlich.
I don't remember.
Bob Ulbrich. That's a tough one. So yeah,
His mother's going to.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this on Free Talk Live or something. So she's going to be there giving kind of an update on how he's doing. Yeah, and this is all, guys. This is just on This is tomorrow. So let's see. Let's skip ahead. Where does it get interesting? Okay. Okay. School is obsolete. Alternate
self-education.
Blah 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 blah. All right. Let's just go to Wednesday.
Yeah, please. We're arriving during brunch.
Okay, so we're just gonna skip everything. Brunch Fest is at 10:30.
I'm hating that I'm gonna miss Joe Salatin because he's by far. I've seen him speak several times. I've been down to Polyface Farm a couple of times, and he's gonna be great. He'll probably be the best speaker there, hands down.
Yeah, I think so too.
We saw him at Liberty Forum one year.
Yeah, he's great. He's entertaining and educational at the same time, which a lot of speakers don't get how to do both at once.
True.
All right, so you think we're gonna get
running around at Porcfest? You know, my head chopped off and wasted. I don't know. I can only sit for so long, like we were talking about.
Yeah, I forget when Joel is speaking.
Well, I'm sure it won't be Wednesday around brunch.
No.
All right, say that again, Eddie, right up in the thing.
I imagine it's Friday. Isn't he like a keynote speaker?
Yeah, probably Friday or Saturday.
Is Stefan Mullen going to go?
I don't know if he's going. Let me see if I see him on the schedule. So.
Who?
Stefan Mullen.
No, I don't think he is.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see. So it looks like Thursday, the kind of big thing is Pork Comedy, Bob Murphy Variety Hour.
Wait, don't.
What?
Skip it way ahead.
Nick Gillespie is the keynote on Friday. And
Are they going to do the what is it? It's the rant contest. Are they doing that this year too?
Wait, what? Oh no, they've cut soapbox out.
All right.
Yeah, and I don't think the Agorist pitch exists anymore either. So it seems like both of those are gone. They are doing the Freedom Feud with Bob Murphy again.
Oh,
That's
you guys
like
are
Family
killing
Feud.
me. Guys are killing me.
And we're actually going to be on that. We're part of a team, so.
Oh, nice.
Garrett's mad that we're not sticking
Well,
to his schedule.
No, I definitely had some build-up to do there, but it's okay, guys.
Oh,
Kind of trying to get to the most exciting stuff, but okay. So, you know, who the fuck cares about beekeeping and pollution?
Hey, man, beekeeping's cool, dude.
Well, then why'd you guys skip through all that?
We were looking for when
Hey, that's fault. I can't see the screen.
So 9 p.m. On Tuesday. This is the one I was actually pretty upset about missing too. DIY, How to Survive as an Artist with DIY audio and Q&A with our buddy Michael W. Dean. Unfortunately, that's playing at the same time as Sovereign Living episodes 1 through 3, which we saw last year. That's the Blush Family Farm that's doing that one.
I think we saw episode 1.
Didn't okay? I feel like they kind of like maybe threw in a second episode. Yeah, because it was raining.
Okay.
So John Bush was smart enough to say, "Hey, we're all in here hanging out, being dry, so let's watch another episode." And that was actually really cool because you really got that I don't know, network television quality show out of this thing.
Good.
Oh, yeah, the show.
Time we can sit down and watch stuff at Porcfest is if it's raining.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. So if you have anything you want to show or have a viewing of, make sure you do it, which is hard to plan for. Okay, so yeah, Wednesday, that's when we'll be getting, well, wait, that's right, we'll be getting there Wednesday. Yep. So Brunch Fest is at 10:30, and then, I mean, I don't know, our thing didn't seem to hit the schedule here. Because right around 1 o'clock, we're supposed to be doing that game space thing, or at least I am. So that's if we even get there at that time. Because, I mean, I guess we got to leave your mom's house at, what, 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
To get there by noon?
It's going to be fun.
So I don't know how to get to the brunch, babe. Do they do a brunch on Thursday?
I think Brunch Fest is, like, for hours.
Okay, well, let's look at the Brunch Fest here. I know you like brunch. We could always stop.
I just want some mimosas. I mean, I really don't.
Okay, all this is 8 a.m. at the pavilion, so I would imagine maybe if we get there by 12:30.
All right, we'll stop for mimosas on the way.
We'll go. We could stop for orange juice and what?
Champagne.
Champagne. Okay. That way, as soon as we get there, you can have a mimosa.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're doing a whole bunch of other stuff that we've seen in previous ones, like Humans versus Zombies. This thing, Status from Birth, seems interesting. There's really there's almost so much stuff to go over through. Oh, wait a minute. In two-way communications, hosted by Ian Freeman of Free Talk Live. This might be something we have to go to, Annie. Or Alpha Bravo. I'm sorry, what was that, Eddie?
What was that you said? It kind of cut out there. That Ian's hosting?
Radio broadcasting and two-way communications, which clearly we need to work on. So, Active New Hampshire have run unlicensed radio stations, effective community outreach tool, and are also known to use two-way radios for instant activist-to-activist communication. If you have about either of these technologies, come ask them of presenter Ian Freeman of Free Keen and Free Talk Live. Which is funny because, Eddie, I seem to remember me and Amy having a blast here. Or, I'm sorry, Echo Delta.
Yeah, right. We went wild on radios last time.
So what'd you think of that whole experience, bringing two-way radios to Porcfest?
I thought it was invaluable. It was great idea. I mean, it's especially when we were sharing a camp and we were selling. We were doing the Agora seed exchange, and I don't know. We were goofing around a lot, but it's I think more and more people are bringing radios. It's pretty vital.
Yeah, actually, Michael Dean and I were talking about that on the last Freedom Fiends. I'm gonna lend him one of those little blue ones, if you remember. Even though I know. All I got to do is go walk up to the little LRN studio, and I'm sure he'll be yakking behind a mic 24 hours. Uh,
Yeah.
so you all pumped up? You got your radio voice ready there,
Yes, I do.
Alpha
I've
Babe?
had a lot of practice.
Are y'all
We
going to
just
broadcast from there?
we do this show from there, just mainly because of the fact that the internet's so shoddy up there. Um, we're actually supposed to be doing a show, and I gotta I gotta figure out what we're gonna do there. We might have to do a little pre-recorded video or something to get thrown up for that slot. Um, although it might not be that difficult to fire up the show from one of our cell phones if we find a good spot to do it. That might actually be fun to do it live from Porcfest, or maybe we'll just give that a whirl then.
Yeah.
So, to all of our fans out there, all the people that are just not going to be able to live without the Wednesday show, 6:30, I guess we'll give it a whirl there from Porcfest because. Say that again, Eddie.
I'm sorry, I interrupted. But you guys could record. I mean, you could still record the show and release it, couldn't you?
Yeah, the thing about it is you have to really have that stuff ready ahead of time and try get it uploaded at least 12 hours before it's supposed to air, just because YouTube takes forever to have stuff uploaded. That's why we've been doing this thing live. It's so much easier that way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And since Wednesday is so, it should be a lot easier to accomplish. But we'll find out on Wednesday. Because we're also doing the Beer and Bullshit show live from Porcfest on Wednesday. But luckily, getting hosted by Chris Bennett from him, so he'll constantly be able to have the action going, and then we can just either call in from our cell phones or our laptops or whatever we want to do. So yeah, Wednesday at 6:30, and then again possibly I think we're going for 8:30. There will be something going on there. We'll just have to see when we get there. I might have to fire up the hotspot on my phone if it becomes necessary. So, I completely forgot where we were at. I was just looking for more stuff. Seed saving for dummies. Free beavers, flapjacks, social, peaceful society through martial arts.
Oh.
Religion and liberty. Icebreakers. Inside look at Atlas Shrugged. Who is John Galt? Mesh Networking 101.
What is Mesh Network?
Mesh networking is the wave of the future. That is where the internet is heading. Unfortunately, there's not a very good description here under this, but this might be something that I want to go check out. Of course, that's right before we do our thing on Wednesday. The Teen Mixer for, the not so able to purchase cigarettes and the 12 to 17-year-olds. They got a little thing going on at 6:30.
They won't have any problem getting cigarettes up there.
Oh, and the Big Goth Dance Party. Interesting name. That's at 8 o'clock. I'm sure we'll wind up seeing Brian Hagen's creepy ass running around there. All the girls in goth. He has a thing for girls in goth.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like he likes Taylor Swift and Ashley Tisdale.
He likes
Brian Hagen.
He's cute blonde. He has a thing for the gothic look too.
They're very far from goth.
It's one extreme or the other, apparently. Nice, bright, sunshiny blonde bitches or dirty, I'm gonna suck your blood, dark-haired chicks.
Don't we all?
Yep. And so then Queen of the Sun, what are the bees telling us? And You Betcha, I'm not sure what You Betcha is. Is it skill? Is it luck? Stake your claim and put money where your mouth is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it gambling?
It sounds like some sort. Okay.
Like this.
Well, it sounds like some sort of gambling thing. And then you got Cop Block Radio at 10 and Michael Dean After Dark at 1 o'clock in the morning. Or I'm sorry, free play. So here's Thursday, and this is just.
Wait.
Okay. It's okay.
I wanted to talk about Nikki Darling's morning vape and coffee meetup, where she will be talking about making your own juice. That's at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Making your own e-cig juice, making your own coils, and all different kinds of stuff. That's Brian Hagen and Corey doing that together. I would like to go to that if we can get up at 10 o'clock, because I would like to learn how to make my own e-cig juice.
They actually I'm not sure. Okay, they'll be in the lower picnic tent for that. So, okay. Well, we can just roll our asses down the hill. Um, we love Nikki, Ryan, and Corey. We had Corey on the Beer and Bullshit show not too long ago, and he was a lot of fun. So, okay, yeah, their description real quick while I've got it up here is, come learn about vaping, DIY e-juice making, and the benefits of electronics. And I guess there will be coffee. Gotta have coffee at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a good idea for them to do it so early.
Yeah.
Okay, and so, yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff going on during the day. I don't even want to like start throwing some of these out just because we're gonna get hung up on another one. Let's see, we're in Thursday. Real quick, I would like to plug the fact that at this one, the 5 o'clock on Thursday, yours truly will be hosting the Angel Clark show, and I'm hoping to get a dear sweet babe to join me on that.
Yeah.
We've got a big commitment now. That's a 2 hour long, and I don't even think I'm going to have a time. Maybe I better bring my freaking laptop.
Hopefully there will be a lot of guests there in the audience who can kind of come up and join us and talk about
Well, all right, let's with it 5 o'clock on Thursday. So Black Flags and Windmills creating power. Okay, that would be an exciting one to go to. Free software is for freedom lovers. The one pot cook-off. Yeah, you're right. So that's the. Okay, that's hosted by the Ladies of New Hampshire.
The event at Porcfest.
Yeah.
The one.
I've never entered. Like not entered to cook, but even entered to judge or anything like that. But apparently that does get a lot of traction from the people who want to cook stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, this is an interesting one. The Let's Talk Abortion, I guess, panel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of people that are going to be on there too. Actually, a lot of the people that I would have liked to have join us on the Angel Clark show will be there, such as Derek J. Freeman. He's going to be the main moderator, and then we've got a panel of Antigone Darling, Diana Keeler. She's a fellow Freedom Fiend host. Chandler St. Pierre and Ben Stone, who frequents the Freedom Fiends. He's the Bad Quaker. If you go to badquaker.com, he's got his excellent podcast going on there. Yeah, so okay, they got like a nice little show. Derek kind of counts both ways too, so they're not getting any one-sided opinions. This should be interesting.
I feel like abortion is the last thing I would ever want to watch a panel about, but those people might make it kind of cool.
Yeah.
So.
Well, under read the description real quick. Panel participants: Ben Stone, the Bad Quaker; Bill Bupert. Oh, okay, he's another Freedom Fiend. Chandler St. Pierre, Antigone Darling, and To Be Determined will discuss from a libertarian perspective one of the more divisive topics of our time, abortion. This panel will be cheerfully moderated by Derek J. Freeman.
Always cheerfully.
Yeah, Derek in there because he'll keep everybody happy and smiling for sure. I mean, a lot of interesting points could get thrown up right there. I'd hate to get into an abortion discussion here, so we'll just skip ahead to the paper airplane contest.
For a camping trip.
You're going to have to say that again, Eddie.
I said that's kind of a heavy discussion for a camping trip.
Yeah.
Well, there's talking and then there's action. I'm sure it'll be interesting, but probably not quite as interesting as the paper airplane contest at 6 o'clock. Come to the bingo hall and make your best paper airplane, then join in a little friendly competition to see who can fly theirs the furthest. And I can see there's going to be a whole bunch of people standing at the top of that hill where we do the group photo every year, chucking their paper airplanes as far as they can off of that. I'd actually like to go to that one.
Sounds thrilling.
Sorry, Angel Clark, I can't do the second half of your show on Thursday because I want to go make a paper airplane. Now, you guys totally rolled through this one, the pork comedy thing. I'm actually excited about this because I only know a couple of these guys, but I'd really like to see how Nick Ryder and Cody O'Connor do on stage doing stand-up. I've heard Cody O'Connor do stand-up comedy once. Well, I listen to his show all the time, and I think he never actually put up the video. Cody O'Connor put up the video of you doing stand-up from that one place. And Nick Ryder, he's one of the guys from the Puke in the Gang podcast that I listen to all the time.
I was going to say don't get too excited because that is at 6 p.m. while we are doing the Angel Clark show.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying I wish I could have gotten Lee. Maybe it'll be 2 hours. Oh, it's... Okay, so it's from 6 to... oh, of course, and the two guys I want to see are on before 7. So I guess I'll have to check out the YouTubes for that later. Okay, and then there's the Who is the Fed role-playing game, or role game. I'm not even sure how this works. Do we want to look at this?
Don't we play that every year at Porcfest? Everybody's wondering.
I think we do.
The hell is Star Parties at 9:30? Nah. Oh, okay. Okay, this one's kind of neat. 9:30. On any night during which the sky is sufficiently clear, I will host a star party using my Celestron 5SE Schmidt telescope and stellarium running on my laptop so that others can determine at a glance the celestial objects that they're looking at. So they're going to go look at the sky with a telescope. That sounds really cool. Matthew Genek will be hosting that from the upper picnic tent. I bet they're going to wind up on the top of that hill too. So I might have to keep an eye out for them on Thursday and go sneak a peek at some celestial bodies. Oh, this is a good one. Friday, 9 a.m. AK-47 rifle kit build basics. They're going to go teach people how to make AK-47s, which is fun. That's also going on while email encryption is easy. Let me show you how will be going on. Getting off the grid. Declare your independence. Beekeeping basics. Kit. Real estate. The devil inside the beltway. How the powerful yet ignorant try to rule cybersecurity. That could be an interesting one. Bubble maker. What is bubble maker? Make big bubble makers as well as snake bubble blowers. After we have fun making them, let's go to the field and get messy or clean. Okay, so that's a family event. They're doing the newbie shoot, CPR, AED workshop, police state in the USSA. What are you giggling about over here?
Just laughing at you reading every single thing, even the really boring ones.
Well, you never know. Others doing a home brewing thing at
brewing.
noon. Okay. Well, I had to read through the other ones to get to this one. You just want to see my eyes rolling across the practical activism? What a spiel.
Tiny home building.
Tiny home building. Oh, see, I skipped right over. You started making fun of me.
I want a home, and Garrett does not want a tiny home.
I want a big ass home.
No, I want a tiny home.
All right, tiny ass home with big property. Okay. So what is BGDP setup? Oh, Big Gay Dance Party setup. I should have known that. Derp. Crypto key signing party. What's that? Say that again, Eddie?
I think it's at nighttime this year. Yeah, usually it was during the day. She got a night slot.
No, that's good.
Moved it to Friday night. I kind of prefer it in the day, but we'll see how it goes at night.
Well, it gives everybody an excuse to stay in their costumes the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Speaking of the costumes I can't even say costumes, I get outfits. Who was the guy won first place last year for his Big Gay Dance Party outfit?
That would be me.
Who was it? It was some guy. I remember
I gave you the silver dollar. I got the silver purple dollar.
Okay, so you're not going to take the bait. Yes, for those of you that don't know, Eddie won last year for his... I believe he stole a bunch of last-minute stuff from you before we headed up to Porcfest.
He wore my tutu, I think.
Yeah. Remember we ran up to the costume store and whipped something up.
Yeah, so those of you who have been working on your costumes for months now, I hate to break it to you, but you're going to get it stolen away from you from some last-minute guy who runs to the store. And it'll probably be me because I haven't done anything this year. Okay, well that was fun. I am looking forward to the Big Gay Dance Party again. I think I'm going to go straight this year because that's pretty gay for the Big Gay Dance Party. Derp, a whole bunch of
All
other
right,
shit. All right, so Buzz's Big Gay Dance Party is at 8 o'clock.
And Joel Salatin is right before Buzz's Big Gay Dance Party.
Oh.
6 o'clock.
Okay, so the keynote
Cool.
speak is at 6.
6 to 8. So we're going to have to go there all gayed up already.
Okay, you say we.
I mean, me.
Yeah. So, what is this you betcha stuff I keep saying? Oh, that's this. Is it skill? Is it like I wonder if that is.
Okay.
It doesn't hosting anything though. I wonder if that's the guy who likes to set up the. I wonder if that's Nick who likes to do the blackjack. Oh, Corey Moore show at 10 on Friday. That might be fun to go podcast bomb him. And I'll tell you what, there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on Saturday, and if you're interested so far, you should just go to porcfest.chedge.org or porcfest 2014, and you can see all of the rest of the exciting stuff. See, we couldn't in an hour get through everything that's going on on the schedule. That's how much stuff's going on there, and that's how I can justify spending the money to go out there. I mean, and that's not even the whole story when it comes to this Porcfest thing. I mean, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, I met the two people I'm talking to on the Google Hangouts right now because of this place. And it 5 years ago, my life was headed one direction and it was a totally different tangent just because of this little event they call the Porcfests. Mm-hmm. And so, Eddie, I'm sorry that you're not going to be there this year. That's very frowny face.
I know. I'm really tempted to just get a plane ticket and go, but I'm way too expensive at this point. So
no, the year before last, you just wound up showing up at Wednesday. It was in the morning. Wednesday. Everybody was still up.
Yeah. I tend to do that. So you know what? I may just show up. You better watch out.
You know what? That would be music to my eyes when I see the text of you saying, "Hey, come pick me up from the airport."
Yeah. You guess I could fly into Manchester?
Yeah.
What did you? What? I'm sorry. What was that?
Fly into Manchester.
It's not beyond the realm.
Well, we'll do it. You go figure that one out. You've had a whole year to figure it out.
I can't justify spending probably $1,000 on a ticket for that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
For 3 days.
Your truck now, you could probably get there by Wednesday. If you start driving now.
No, I had enough of a drive just getting back down here to Texas. But I'm done with long drives.
So Eddie, in the interest of wrapping this thing up here, for anybody that is just now hearing about you, how do you have any? Are you promoting any projects right now? Any websites? Any Twitters?
Man, I'm really not doing anything. I'm not. I'm just straight up focusing on getting my ranch going, and that's it. Getting a website for that. But not really. I mean, I've got a Facebook page, the Benevolent Order of Agorist Hunters, which I post extensively on there.
There you go.
But that's really all I'm doing. I got my Facebook and G+ and all that, but yeah, no website and no events or protests or anything at this point.
Well, that's easy to remember. So if you want to be bored to death, just go Google Eddie Free on Facebook. Google Eddie Free. Search for Eddie Free on Facebook, and you can see all of his fancy pictures of his hunting outings and all the dead critters. And it's give him a poke. You can do that on the Facey Space.
Eddie, give me a
poke. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate you coming on at late notice, but it was a lot of fun. We chit chat more in the future.
We shall.
Annie, thanks for hanging out with me.
Oh yeah.
Over here on Space Worm 1.
I do what I can.
And to all the viewers that have been popping in and out in today's episode, thanks for checking it out.
See you on Wednesday,
yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully see you on Wednesday when we go do the show live from Porcfest. All right, bye everybody.
Over and out.